Imagine you just started watching your weight and you're walking down the grocery aisle and you pass by the candy bars, right? And you're seeing that favorite king size candy bar. One of my favorites was the king size Kit Kat. You dip it in coffee, let it melt a little bit, and then take a bite. My God, it's so good. This is actually making me hungry. I might have to get a candy bar after this, but the iPhone Air is like having that candy bar, but you don't get the calories, you get only the flavor. You only get that experience. So you could still dip that Kit Kat into your coffee, take a bite, enjoy it, but not feel guilty whatsoever. One of the things I said about the iPhone 13 mini when I reviewed this was that this is like a fun size candy bar, right? You can have it and still not feel guilty. iPhone Air, total opposite. And I am certain if you dig your teeth into this iPhone will ruin every other iPhone for you. The very first place I want to start is with battery life. I just don't see, with the amount of testing, like I have been dogging this phone, like testing battery packs, draining it out purposely. Matter of fact, I was thinking the other day that maybe for the channel, I should have a separate iPhone Air that I can abuse because I don't abuse my personal device's battery as much as I have abused this. I already have 39 charge cycles on this just because I've tested like 6, 7 different battery packs. So I'm like draining, charging, doing all this funky stuff that I don't even do on a day-to-day basis. And to anyone who was giving me that smart comment of, oh, you can love an iPhone Air because you have a 17 Pro, here you go. Here's your proof. I have 8 charge cycles on the iPhone 17 Pro that I reviewed. And you want to know why? It's because I had to test this. I have to take a dive into the camera, see how it compares to the different devices. I have to use it day in and day out so I can actually give you honest feedback. But do I want to use this? No, because this feels like a brick. That's why I said the iPhone Air will ruin every other iPhone for you. And if you have done it even the slightest bit of justice by using this device for more than a week, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, for battery life, me and my buddy, the one that I bought the 15 Pro from, he also switched to the Air. And I remember when he came over Saturday night, I handed him the 15 Pro and he's like, dude, this feels crazy because now he's had his iPhone Air for over a month too. So we went to this place. By the way, if you're in the DMV area, go to Georgie's, 28th and M. It's right by Georgetown. Amazing steak and cheese, amazing chicken shawarma. We drove down there. On the way, he was running his maps. He's playing Apple Music and streaming it, not a downloaded library. And CarPlay is running 6% of battery life. 1 hour trip, 6% of battery life is all he lost on his iPhone Air. So you would have to go to DC, come back, and go to DC and come back 4 times to lose 24% of battery life. That is simply amazing. I don't know what else this battery can do. And now, like well over a month, I've gotten to the point where I don't even think about the battery life anymore. That's one of the beautiful things about the 16E I loved is I did a video called No Charging Needed. And I think I should do a video on this stating no charging needed because this doesn't need charging. And guess what? For those days where you do have a long day or whatnot, I mean, is it really that difficult to charge in the car for a little bit or charge at your work desk or plug in somewhere for like 10, 15 minutes? Either I'm doing something wrong or I was sent like a special heavenly device from Apple, which I doubt because in the 5 years I've been doing YouTube, I have not been invited anywhere to Apple's press conferences, and nor do I care to ever go. Because in order to experience beautiful engineered devices like this one, I can do it from the comfort of my home. Real quickly, I gotta thank today's sponsor, which is Baseus, and this right here is their 67-watt GAN charger. Before I talk about this charger, I just want to thank Baseus for sponsoring this video. If you look in the last month, I have like 24 or 25 videos posted to this channel. I've really been grinding it out, right? and you won't find any sponsors in there. And that's because I only pick a company that is actually giving me the freedom to just test out their product the way I like to test products. Trust me when I say that this 67-watt GAN charger is really a good one. It's suitable enough to charge my MacBook Air, iPhone Air on the go. You've got two USB-C ports at the front and a USB-A. So if you have an older device that has a USB-A, this is great for that. And you've got foldable prongs, which is really nice because this can literally be thrown into any bag. It packs a lot of power in such a tiny and compact size. I will link this down below. Do check them out. If you're looking for a good portable GAN charger, this is a great one. Once again, huge thank you to Baseus for sponsoring this video. And now back to the video you're watching. Now, with the battery life out of the way, I want to talk about the things I've loved, and which is just like I stated before, the experience that this device gives you. Honestly, if you are not buying this device, at least testing it out, because there's going to be a lot of things in here, right? Like the single camera speaker, a lot of things that are going to vary on a person to person basis, whether you can live with that or not, right? But if you dig your teeth into this candy bar for a week, you're going to be hooked. I mean, it's going to be really hard to get out of this one. Seriously, the experience is amazing. One of the things I love is when I'm typing messages. So I have haptics on for my keyboard, right? And this phone compared to every other phone I've had, like when you're typing, I feel like every time I tap on the keyboard, like I feel that on the other side. Like it's really difficult to say or like actually describe, but it's such an amazing experience just using this device. And this is something I thought that would probably wear off, like just how thin this device is. Even with the leather case I have on here, it's simply an amazing experience. Every time I go to hold this device, every time I pick it up, it is a joy to use. I've absolutely loved having this bigger display. And that's exactly why I called it a king size candy bar, because you get a bigger display compared to like the rest of the lineup. And it makes sense here. They made the phone a little bit bigger so they could stuff a little bit more battery, made it really efficient, and it just all comes together for a wonderful experience. When it comes to the camera, I don't have any issues. I am not going to let a single camera limit my creativity. Photography is a lot more than just focal lengths. A lot of it lives up here, like how you approach the photo and how you take the photo and just your perspective of the photo. At least that is how I feel in regards to it, because I haven't had multiple different focal lengths when I've been traveling and going places, and I've taken great photos. They might not be great to anybody else, but they make for great memories for myself. And likewise, on a day-to-day basis, I'm just taking random snaps. Like sometimes see a beautiful flower and I take a photo. Sometimes it's my meal. Like the other day I was eating at this kebab place when I went out for work, and I sent it to my wife because both of us like love going to that place. That's the kind of snaps I'm taking on a day-to-day basis. And everyone that around me, at least, that has switched to like the iPhone Air, that's what they're doing with their cameras as well. We're not trying to be Michael Bay or Christopher Nolan with our camera or our phone and rigging it out to be some kind of like massive camera system. We're just taking like daily snaps, man. And this camera is absolutely great at doing that. The other day I was at a wedding event, and like I do at any event, I took a bunch of photos of all the nieces and nephews and some of the decorations and the bride and the groom, and it was a fun time. I was able to get quality snaps, not only me, but of my family as well. So I think if you're looking for a solid, good camera, and from what I can judge from just the people around me in my life, whether it's friends or family, a lot of them don't even use the different like focal lengths. Now, another thing to think about here is also going to be that single speaker. And I can tell you this much, And again, maybe it's just me, but I'm just here to share my experience in the hopes that I can bring some value to you. Guess what? It's not going to make a difference to me whether you go out and buy this phone or you don't. I just want to help you make a good decision and not let a great iPhone like this pass from your selection. Like we might actually not even see this device again simply because the sales are not good, simply because most people just don't understand this device, much like most people don't understand the iPhone 16e or the 13 mini or the 12 mini. A lot of people just don't get it. A lot of people review these devices, but they don't use them on a day-to-day basis. There's a big difference in that. And so when it comes to the speaker, here's what I've noticed. I have forgotten there's one. I really have. My wife has forgotten that there's one speaker. You know why? Because initially, like for example, do this, right? If you go and just change up your home screen, just reset your iPhone's home screen, you're gonna feel like you're lost. Like you're gonna not know where the apps are and everything, right? It's because something that you're used to just changes all of a sudden. But now I've adjusted. I'm watching football on here. I'm listening to podcasts on here. I'm listening to YouTube videos on here. And it is just a thing that doesn't even bother me. Or I don't even like think about it. Why? Because we still have stereo sound. And your ears will adapt to whatever device you're using. It's really not that big of a deal. But this is going to be one of those things that you have to think about and I would say experience for yourself. One thing I do like is that when I hold my phone like this, or when I hold my phone like this, I don't have to worry about covering up any speaker. So I'm not having any issues whatsoever. I don't even think about it. I don't think about the battery. I don't think of the camera as a shortcoming. There's a lot of things that were like big red flags, like going into this device, but your relationship with the device changes the more you use it. It's either going to go downhill or it's going to be like, wow, man, I can't believe I had all these worries about this device. And that's why I say this is the king size candy bar that's looking at you in the grocery aisle. And you might be staying away because you're like, oh, no, 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 I can't. I just started this diet. But if you go close, right, and you look at it, it's actually their 0 calorie one that tastes just like the real thing. And yeah, it might have some negative impacts on your health. Dr. Berg would definitely, fill you in on that. I love watching Dr. Berg. You gotta dig your teeth into this device and try it for yourself. That's the key takeaway here. And maybe or maybe not, it might fit into your life. But for me, it fits in. And I can tell you this much. I don't care if they don't make a second one or a third one. This is my device going forward. Last but not least, let's talk about the price tag, right? Because there's that knock on this device too that, you know what? Why would I spend $1,000 on this when I could pay 100 more and buy the iPhone 17 Pro, which has the vapor chamber and the 3 cameras and so and so and so, and it does so many different things, right? That you could possibly want out of an iPhone. And yes, you would be right. It does do a lot more, but it comes down to what do you value, right? I mean, do you value a comfortable experience? Do you value nice build quality? Do you value the engineering that went into a product? Let me ask you something, fellas. If you take your wife on an anniversary date, right, and you're going to celebrate that anniversary, take her to Taco Bell. Do it. I dare you, try it. Why do you go to nice restaurants where they serve you a piece of meat that is this big, yet they want to charge you an X amount? Why? Because, well, the cow was hand delivered this morning to that restaurant, and they had to very specifically cut out that portion of the meat for you. That's going to require a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? So when you have special things, they demand a special price. This is a special phone. This is not just an ordinary phone. When we want nice things in life, we have to pay a little bit more. I at least value good material, good engineering, and I'm willing to pay a price for that. I don't look at just price based on what the device is giving me on paper. I take that price, pay for the device, and I translate it into the real world, and the experience that this device gives me is unmatched by any iPhone that existed before and possibly any iPhone that will exist in the future. I love my iPhone Air, and I really hope that all the thoughts that I've shared with you after actually living with this device, I really hope these thoughts help you in making the right decision as to whether or not this is a device that you yourself can live with. And if you have found value here, all I ask of you is just leave me with a thumbs up so more people can find this video. If you got questions, drop them in the comments down below. And for all the people that are asking, and I know people can ask in this video, this is my own leather case that I'm making. I will link it in the description below. They are now available to ship and everything, and all the pre-orders that were placed will be shipped out by tomorrow, which is Thursday. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.